What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and we're here today for another Southside Boys episode. If there are any of you guys left still, I know probably not many, and we still come back here every week and talk about it. But we're here today, and we're here to talk about guys because last week we were talking about the White Sox firing Pedro Grifol and what was going to happen. They were going on to face the Cubs. The series didn't go exactly how we planned, but Grady Sizemore is the interim manager. Team looks a little bit energized and they seem to be happier and stuff like that. So we'll talk about it all. But guys, let's not waste no time. Let's get the guys in here and let's talk about our wonderful baseball team. So let's get Deech. What's up, Deech? How you doing here today?
What's up? Grady's boys took a shit last night, so thank you to the both.
It's Grady's boys. I'll take it.
Well, there's all these people with the Grady's boys don't quit, and it's like, yeah, we won one fucking game, and we're out here parading around like we're fucking just can't buy it, dude.
I think it was because it was against the Yankees, and the Yankees are the Yankees, so that's probably why that they was just like, I don't know. I said it too. I'm like, don't get too excited. I enjoyed it. It was what it was, but then we saw it happen the next two games. Juan Soto happened. So let's get Justin in here and let's talk about all of this. So, Justin, what's up, man? How you
What's
doing?
up, fellas? How we doing?
How you doing?
It's another day in the neighborhood. Another day of being a Sox fan.
You made it to the ballpark, though, Justin. So.
Made it to the ballpark on Saturday. Yeah, the old ballpark. Did not stay the entire time. Got there late, left early. It was an experience. I definitely missed being there, but then you watch the product on the field, and I'm reminded why I don't go to games.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened when the two idiots decided to run on the field and the one?
Yeah, that was right after I left. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have witnessed that, but yeah, I saw that, and the guy had to get like stretchered off or whatever. That's hilarious.
He broke his leg.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, there was videos and there were fans straight up like, "Way to go, idiot! Now you can't even run away from security." Like I was like, "Yeah, I mean, don't." That's like $10,000 minimally. You just pissed down the drain there. So enjoy that felony trespassing charge you're gonna get.
I just never understood why people do that. I mean, let's go into because nothing really happened that series. The Cubs won both games. Sox did play a little better. They did have an opportunity, but I feel like that was the funniest thing that happened. So, why do these people do that? Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me on, like, why they would even want it, especially with, like, the ninth inning with 2 outs. You got one more out. You just can't act normal for one more out and then be dumb. Like,
a lot of, like, times when you're breaking the law, you have a chance to get away with it. Like, when you do that, like, you're fucked. Like, your fate, it's over. Like, immediately. So there's not even, like, we could get away with this. You aren't.
Yeah. The slim chance you had before when they didn't have the nets going all the way down are not. Now it's just like there was the one video a couple years ago where the kid like pulled the net away from the foul pole and jumped on there. And then he's like trying to jump up the other side. And it's like, ain't nobody helping you get up here now. Fuck you. Like,
I don't know. Too many people do it. The one Cubs game I've went to, somebody went onto the field in the ninth inning. There was no outs. It was before the start of the ninth inning. And this guy just decided to run. I'm like, of course, the one Cubs game I go to, they decide to run onto the field. And it's just like, I don't know. Just don't do it. That's what the thing should be. Just don't do it and just enjoy the baseball game because you break your leg and like you said, you can't run away from the cops because isn't that the whole point? And they don't even show them on camera. It's not like they like show them anymore. So it's just all they do is
it's all like cell phone videos.
They creepily stare at the pitcher warming up or the batter's just talking. It's like, well, there's obviously something going on. There's not a reason they're all just standing around. So I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. These guys are all dumb. Felonies, and they'll probably never be back at the ballpark ever again. So I don't know. But then they went on to go play the Yankees, and they scored 12 runs. They won by 10 runs, and they had their first double-digit win of the year. and they beat the Yankees, I think, for the first time in that many runs in so many years. So, what will you take away from that game, Justin? Did you watch that game?
A little bit at the end when they poured it on. Actually, I turned it on when they were up, I think 5-2, and whatever the 7th or the 8th. Fully expecting to watch them implode, only to see them pile on and Brooks Baldwin homer. So yeah, I mean, it felt good, but you knew that they're gonna. You knew that was it for the series, though, right?
Yeah,
like the Yankees weren't going to come in here and get swept or even lose the series for that matter. So
that was my thought as I was watching Monday was, well, I'm going tomorrow, so they're going to score like one fucking run because we've not given up. We've scored all of our runs for like the next 2 weeks. So
he said for the next 2 weeks. I mean, it's there though. It's there for them to be able to do it. Like we see these guys do it, and like you said, you mentioned Brooks Baldwin. It's nice to see him be able to get a hold of the bat. And you could I don't know, there's something about his swing I just really like for some reason, and I don't know. So it was really interesting to see, and it was just really nice to see them actually kind of enjoy it. And the biggest thing about the whole entire thing that I thought was the biggest thing, even with the Cubs series, was Grady Sizemore. The press conferences, he actually talks like a normal human being, and he's not like, we just gotta go out there and do it again next day, blah, blah, blah. And the guys actually seemed like they cared, especially after they beat the Yankees. They were like, we're doing this for Grady. We're doing this, And yes, they're still 29 and 93, but the energy they seem to be liking it. Maybe that's what the black cloud was. I don't know. Yes, they are 1-4 or whatever the record is, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's not going to be as miserable of a 40 games as it would have been with Pedro. So, again, we'll see what happens. But, I mean, again, I'm not expecting a lot. I'm still hoping to get over 40 wins. I'm still waiting.
That's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen.
I'll pile on to that. The people who are all excited that all of a sudden we got a new manager and players are.
So that was going to be my question. So what do you think about the 5 games and what you've seen from Grady and if you've seen the interviews? So, Deej, go ahead and go. What were you going to say?
I mean, I watched a few of the players talk about Grady and how there's a new energy in the clubhouse and all this shit. I don't really buy it because it's like, well, when you played under Pedro, were you or were you not getting paid to play professional baseball? Then Grady takes over and you're all excited to now play professional. I mean, if it was that bad under Pedro, then shame on Chris Getz for sitting here and letting Pedro be the manager for the first 90 losses or however many we fucking lost under him this season. I just don't. It's a hot take. I'm sure people disagree with it, but I mean, you're getting paid to play baseball. So this whole now we feel more motivated. It's like, well, sometimes motivation comes from within. So figure it the fuck out.
No, I don't disagree with you on that because why couldn't they have played this way? And again, the manager, whatever, but you could also in your team meetings and the player meetings, you could actually play for each other, be this way and be that. I don't know. So it's just one of those things. It was nice. I will say it's nice to listen to the press conferences and he don't sound like a complete jackass. So I mean,
yeah,
and he's also standing on top of the dugout. I will say that Pedro, for some reason, was sitting on the bench all the time or hiding behind the dugout, probably because people were gonna heckle him. But Grady's always up there. He's always rooting on the guys, and I like that. I do like seeing the guys get a little, or watching him say, "Let's fucking go," and they were so close to. Right before he struck out to end the game with bases loaded, where they needed that one hit to win the game. So,
yeah, I mean they're 1-4, so that's not
no,
and
that's
world beaters. I like Grady Sizemore. I believe there was a new energy in the clubhouse by having Pedro out of there. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's a lot of truth to what you said too, Deech, where it's like, Andrew Benintendi, Gavin Sheets. Why did you guys need a new manager to remember that you are capable of hitting a baseball? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. So, yes, you're correct. And they definitely just going through the motions at this point in the season. And at this point, it's hard to blame them. But I like Grady. I want to see him in the mix for the managerial search because I'm very realistic about what their pool of options looks like. I don't think that unless they're bringing back Ozzy or AJ, or they're going to go get a real experienced, good manager, not fucking Skip Schumacher.
I mean,
a real manager,
he's going to be interviewed.
a Terry Francona type, which they're not going to do. It's going to be some bullshit like Pedro Grifal, where they hire. It's either going to be Schumacher or some assistant who's well respected in league circles. The same way they sold us on Grifal, because it's not an appealing job. But it could be to someone like Grady Sizemore, who was a great ball player and is definitely a guy who players on the team respected and looked up to when he was playing. So I think that goes a long way too. So I want to see him in the mix. And that's the biggest reason why I'm actually rooting for him to win down the stretch, where before I was kind of like, I'll take all the losses we can get and just hammer that home. But now I'd like to see him have a little success.
I will say nothing he's done has really impacted the games. I mean, the bullpen is complete shit. It was shit. Yeah. We traded Kopech, and he was probably one of the best arms, surprisingly, in that mix of the group. But, I mean, Dominic Leone hurt his arm, and so, I mean, fuck off. You're done probably for the year now. John Brebbia, can't stand it. Every time he goes in, they suck. Justin Anderson, surprisingly, has been better. I don't know if it's just because he pitches every game, so a blind squirrel finds a nut occasionally, I guess. But
his slider is pretty good. I will say that it did look pretty good when he faced Aaron Judge and stuff. But
because
he's the new Brian Shaw, is what it is. He's out there every day.
Well, because yesterday, what was it? Davis Martin only gave up a run.
Yeah, again, the starting pitching has been great. Davis Martin literally did the same thing he did against the Athletics, and they lost both games. It makes me so mad.
You can't really blame Grady. He's working with what he has there. The offense does appear to be playing better, minus Luis Robert, who I don't know.
Who dropped a bunt single the other night when the third baseman was playing back, and they just bunted it right to third base for an infield hit. That was awesome. They haven't done that shit in years. I mean, they never do that fucking shit. Third baseman's playing back, and you drop a perfect bunt to third base, and the guy is never going to charge. Was it Baldwin?
Yeah, because it barely touched. It didn't even get. It was on the fringe of the grass around home plate, right? Where it pretty much
No, it was bunted to third base where the guy was playing way back.
I don't know who that was. I know Baldwin had a ridiculously good bunt where he wound up beating it.
Well, when I was there on Saturday, Baldwin popped up 2 bunts foul and then swung right through a fastball for strike 3. One of the worst professional at-bats I've ever seen.
I know it's one of the worst I've ever seen. I must have walked away from that because I walked away a lot on Saturday.
Dominic Fletcher, I mean, defensively, Andy he's not hitting for power, but he's starting to at least get some hits in there. A few of the catches he had last night, he's chasing down balls, and it's clear that Robert felt he needed to cover the entire outfield himself, because when Fletcher made this ridiculous catch yesterday, Robert clipped him.
Yeah, the guy scored from second. I had it on.
So, I mean, that needs to be addressed with Robert. Hey, we actually have someone who can play the fucking outfield, so don't feel the need to run all the way to right field to go get it.
Yeah, I didn't know what his issue was with that, where it was just and you see it all, even with the third baseman sometimes, these guys run past and run in front of each other. Can the guy not make the play? Is that we don't trust each other? Because Robert even does it when he'll run to left or right. He gets to get in front of him, and then sometimes you don't even make the play. And he can't hit nothing right now. He looks like he's swinging at dirt, and he's not seeing anything. So he's a whole nother problem that just does not seem to work right now. And does he miss his big baby? Does he need to go to Baltimore with big baby? I mean, I don't know. Justin, do you have anything to say about Robert?
He's a bum. They should have fucking traded him. I walked back on everything I said before the deadline.
Yeah, but if we traded him, he'd be having 5-6 home runs.
That's fine. I would have to watch him. That pitch he struck out on in the 9th on Saturday that he went waving at, Javi Baez shit. Just going up there expecting to strike out, not giving a fuck. It's infuriating to watch.
He said, I love the Javi Baez thing is great. I love it.
He hit a big homer today.
Who, Javi?
Yeah.
I did tweet out the other day. So there was some post, and it showed all of the teams and how many top 100 prospects they have. The Sox had 4 or 5. So everyone in our division has 4 or 5 top 100 prospects other than Kansas City, who has 3 of them, where this whole like, oh, we're building from within and shit. It's like, well, I mean, all of the teams in our division are already better than us. So if you think you're going to run it back next year and just bring all the youth up and not add a single fucking bat, I mean, it's just
they have no intentions on competing next year in any capacity.
No, but I mean, you can't build a contender all in one season. Like you generally
No, I know. They are going to do what they did last time and wait to spend money until the perfect time, and they're not going to be able to get yet. Obviously, yeah. If what the fuck they were doing, they would sign Juan Soto this offseason, and then
after how many home runs he hit in a row,
but they're not going to. That's just
I throw all the
logic.
money.
Damned, it doesn't matter because what they're going to do is what they just did last time: sign nobody, pump these prospects in our face, throw a couple bullshit contracts out there to slightly above average guys. And then watch it deteriorate immediately. Fan theory and what they need to do and what they say aside, it doesn't matter because they've already written the script for how this is going to go.
Well, I was thinking more realistic. Anthony Santander isn't supposed to get like a crazy contract.
He's going to hit like 45 home runs this year.
Well, they were talking about how the outfield, Ken Rosenthal was talking about how the outfield market itself, other than Soto, is going to be very, like, no teams. I mean, look at Teoscar Hernandez. I mean,
you're right. It's a good point.
So, I mean, if you were to get him hitting at the rate, I mean, perfect bat.
Yeah, he's a switch hitter too. I mean, right?
It makes sense to us, but the problem is Jerry's dumbass won't give the money to go and do that.
They have $45 million committed to payroll next year before arbitration. So, I mean,
I mean, that's already saying we're not spending money. I know that there's going to be money that needs to be spent, but I don't think that's going to be in a high volume AAV guy like Santander, even if he's not getting a ton of money. If he gets the second or third most money of the outfielders on the market, I don't know who's all out there. I know obviously Soto's one, but if he is in the top like 4 or 5 outfield contracts, it's not going to be the White Sox signing him. They just don't roll that way unless it's Kendall Graveman.
Yeah.
Don't remind me. I've been watching. Man.
Yeah. Hendricks was at least good.
Man.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, but you need one fucking closer that's making over $10 million. We don't need like 5 fucking veteran closer. I don't know. Even next year, I can't say I confidently can pick anyone on this team right now where you're our closer. So again, it'll be like, well, shit. Now
that's the last thing you need when
they got to take. I would just get rid of everybody in the bullpen. I wouldn't bring any of them back. They all suck.
They should get rid of them all right now. I guess September 1st and then see what happens. But if Getz doesn't sit and start DFing everyone who's just like useless and has no fucking intention of bringing back next year, what are all these arms that we keep hearing about? I mean, Kai Bush has come up. He's struggled with his control. Everyone's all amped up that Nastrini all of a sudden has figured it out. And I hope he has, but there's all these arms we keep claiming we have in the farm system. After it has no impact on the control, after I think it's September 1st, there's zero fucking reason they should not be up. And you could, Dominic Leone and John Brebbia can go enjoy an early off season. I really don't know what to say anymore.
I mean, and it doesn't matter. Like that's exactly what should happen. Is the first just bring everybody up and because what's the point of watching these? What's the point of going to watch Cody Kuehl or Corey Kuehl or whatever the hell his name is, or
Chad Kuehl.
Chad Kuehl. There we go. And then who's the one after him? Or there's another one, but the one rookie dude that they brought up. Like stop sending people up and down and just bring up these guys and let them see what happens. Like Nestrini's, the guys that are ready. And Kai Bush, I'll say that if he can figure out his walk, I think he does have some good stuff that he could figure it out. But again, You also need a bullpen that can save a game when you're up 3 to 4 runs, and you don't need 10 runs to win a baseball game because that doesn't happen every day, especially with the offense.
Yeah, not with this fucking lineup either. Yeah, they're pattern I'm seeing here is there's a lot of holes that need to be filled, and they're not. There's no way they take on attacking them all this offseason, so it'll be patchwork to get through, and then what they'll try to do is pay a couple above average guys like to Grandal and Dallas Keuchel, say, and Edwin Encarnacion, like those kind of deals when they get in the next offseason or two when they bring to supplement their young talent. It'll be the same playbook again, and then we'll be sitting here. I've said it before. We'll be sitting here in 2028 or whatever the hell having this same conversation.
Well, hopefully by then we're like in like a studio and like, you know, like they actually want to listen to us on the side, you know. Listen, they don't have to like the White Sox.
Not if
I mean, I guess you do, but like, you know. I mean, man, I have no idea. And that's the thing where it's just going to be and to see where it all goes and everything else. But I know you got to go, Justin, so I'll let you go before I keep you any longer. So we'll finish it out, but I appreciate you coming and hanging out, and see you next week or whenever next time it is.
Next week. See you,
you,
fellas.
Yeah.
Peace.
Well, thank you to Justin always coming in. We always love his insight. So I kind of forgot my train of thought where I was going with that, but I mean, they need to do something where it's like that we could literally do an episode if they are ever good. We could do an episode about the guys that have been on this team and just name guys, and they've all been on other teams, and they all have just went on to do something. And it's just like, why is the fact that, like, I don't know. I watched a documentary, man, about the 2005 White Sox a couple days ago to make me feel better. And, man, there was just something, I don't know, man. Like, it makes me so mad that, like, I was 10 years old because that's the type of stuff that I want to see. Like, I want to see these guys fight for each other. I want to see the claps in the dugout. I want to see them going crazy, the walk-offs, the guys run. Like, it's just, I don't know. And the shit that I see on a daily basis just makes me sad and disgusted at being a White Sox fan. Every day I get dirty looks at with my White Sox hat, and it's like, listen, I'll still root for them, but at a certain point, I turned it off after they gave up the lead yesterday. I was like, it's over. I was like, this is bullshit. So
that's like Chad Kuhl blew the game that I was at against the Cubs, and he has such a fun name. I was like, yeah, Chad, go cool down in the showers. Go cool off in the fucking clubhouse after you blew the lead. I mean, I don't know. If you're not at the game, turn that shit off the second the starting pitcher comes out because it's over in most cases.
And that's the problem where it's just like we see the starters that were doing good, like Davis Martin and Cannon's been good, and they've had these good start and good outings, and then the bullpen comes in and they're like, well, we don't care. And then it's like as soon as they give up the lead, they're like, okay, now let's pitch and let's figure out how to actually play the game and let's do it the right way. And it's like, well, if you just did it the right way in the first place, we wouldn't have this problem. So, I mean, again, there's really not too much to say about this, but it's a new era in the White Sox, the Grady Sizemore era, that is. So, is there anything else you really want to talk about? I really feel like there's really not much more to talk about besides, like I said, what we've talked about. So,
I will say I do agree with what Justin. I mean, if you're not going to get a big fish like Terry Francona or some big name, Grady Sizemore at least deserves a chance to. I mean, he's under contract next year. It could be one of those where it's like, hey, we're going to suck again. So we feel you're the right guy to get these guys in the right mindset. And it'll be like a Rick Renneria where
I was just about to say.
Yeah, so I'd rather.
And I mean, honestly, like as a fan, like I would not be mad if Grady was the coach next year. Like if that's what they're gonna do. But again, Chris Getz has said whatever he said. But even if Grady doesn't get a job here, I think Grady hopefully does prove enough to be able to go get a job somewhere else. Just because, like again, it's been 5 games, it's been a week, it's been whatever the hell it's been. But they do just seem a little bit like I've just been thinking about it like the White Sox are what they are with Grady Sizemore. Because, again, like they're scoring more runs. If the bullpen wasn't so shitty, then maybe we win another one of these games. But, again, you know, obviously wins don't matter at this point when you're fucking a million under 500 and, you know, yeah. But I
big thing.
I want to watch entertaining baseball at least until football starts because this preseason nonsense I can't deal with.
Yeah. Well, I think the thing with what Justin was saying, I mean, if they go hire some fucking guy who's the assistant hitting coach of some shit organization again and try and tout him out, I mean, no one's going to believe it. We all bought the whole Pedro was going to prepare him to kick your ass and all that kind of shit.
I did. Man, I remember when he said that at first. I was so happy. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, but you've burned that bridge now, so they have to be very careful on who they select because I would say 90% of the fans would rather you have just kept Grady Sizemore as opposed to go get some schmuck off of another losing organization that what I just don't I really don't know anymore, man.
And I feel like that
trade value. So everyone who's all pissed off that Crochet blew his trade value, go fucking I guess boo Robert too because. But I
mean, they both forgot how to play.
Acting like everyone's an asset and it's gonna fuck with their heads. And sure enough, Grady Sizemore the other day during a presser made reference to the trade rumors he thinks played a role in Robert's pretty much being not good right now at all. I like just not. The focus is gone and everything. So, I mean,
hate to see it, man. It is what it is. But like I said, not too much to talk about. So today is going to be a short episode, and I feel like this is how most of these episodes are going to be, unless we go on a 7-game winning streak and we just have a party and we celebrate winning 7 in a row. So that's probably not going to happen. The White Sox go and face the Astros, and then they go and face the who the heck do they face next? I forgot who the hell they face next. But they go on and they go and face the Astros, and then I'll figure out who they go and face.
It might be
the Giants. We go and face the Astros and the Giants. So don't get much easier. The Sox going to go 0-6. So let's go to the chat real quick. Let's see what people are saying, and then we're going to say goodbye for the day. So we got Bo in the house. What's up, Bo? He says $45 million doesn't seem like a lot. So can you explain that to him, like in baseball terms? Because honestly, I kind of feel that same way. It does not seem like a lot.
Their payroll this year is probably, I would guess, somewhere between 130 and 140 million. So because you have the Moncadas going, the Eloy is now off the books. I mean, really, the only 2 players you have money committed to is Benintendi and Robert. So if they were to keep payroll at, let's say, 130 million going into next year, you probably add another 10 to 20 million you still have a good chunk of dough to really work with in free agency. So it'll be interesting to see. They better not pull some shit and be like, we're having $100 million payroll because we just decided we're gonna run with all the youth in our system. So
yeah, there you go. You in MLB the Show. I finished the season that I started in the beginning of the year, and I decided to trade for a few people, and then I decided to sign Vlad Guerrero.
They could go after first baseman and put Vaughn as a DH next year.
I mean, Jerry, just spend some gosh darn money and go get some players. Cincinnati Reds are 60-61. Cubs are falling apart still. I don't care. Again, that's the other problem with these teams. These teams all figure it out versus us, but then they got to realize they only play us 3 times. Like, you got to go and play other teams. You know, like the Athletics. We're like, oh, we're this and that, and then you suck. So, yeah. It just shows how bad the White Sox really are this year. There is more than 18 games left, I think. There's way more than 18 games left. I think there's like 35, right? Because we still have all of September.
Yeah, and I think they have to win 14 games to not be the worst baseball team in history.
Oh, man, I don't even see them winning 10 more games. That's why I'm saying, like, if they win 7 in a row, we coming on here and popping bottles. Like, you're chugging, I'm drinking, we're all getting drunk.
For still being...
We'll be the Dolphins where they don't beat the record. That's what we'll be.
How many wins do they have right now?
29. 29.
I mean, what the fuck? That means they have to win 11 games to win 40 games. Like
I know. And it's sad because that seems like so many, but it's really a not if they could just win a couple series and get a couple of luck and score some runs. And
when was the last time they won a series, though? I
don't know. I think June.
Looking at the schedule, like, there is no fucking way I would bet money that they win 11 games and win at least 40, let alone don't break or not wind up with the shittiest record ever. I mean, I just don't. I don't. That's why.
So the last time I think they won a series was versus the Red Sox in June. Oh no, I'm sorry, against the Rockies at the end of June.
Yeah, I mean, unless that bullpen's getting the boot, and we're just gonna hope that the young pitchers that are highly touted in our farm system can just be remotely better than them, then maybe. But we got to wait for that because we wouldn't want to rush the service time of a fucking pitcher.
Man, I don't know, but the fact that I want to ask you this question. I'm going to ask Justin this too because I've been wanting to. What do you think losing streak was worse? The one from last year or the two from this year? Because the fact that this team has had 2 10-plus game winning streaks, and what did they go on last year? Wasn't it like a 15-game losing streak too before Vaughn hit that grand slam?
I did not think it was. I kind of removed last year from my memory.
So did I, but I was just thinking about it. I was like, because I was looking at the losing streak.
Because I forgot they were talking about it was either 13 or 14 that they had never done in a season. So I don't think it ever reached that last year.
No, okay, then I don't know. I forgot what it was. It felt like it.
Yeah,
it did feel like it.
That just lubed us up for this year. So we could just take that 20-something, whatever the hell we just had.
Oh, my God. 35-game losing streak. If you take the two and combine them, that's 35 games in a row that they've lost. That's a month and 5 days that we literally. Bro, I went to Chicago, came back, stayed here, had people come and visit from Chicago, and they still didn't win a game. I remember sitting here and they did win that game versus the Athletics. I was celebrating by myself. I was like, woohoo. Whatever. I'm sick and tired about this team right now, though. I want to go play Madden. So I'm done here for today. Deech, you got anything else?
I'm good, man. There's really not much to say until the off season where we can see how Gets is different.
I do want to have Elijah on a few weeks, though, so that episode will be entertaining. So then he could give us some hope and explain to us about these guys, why Miguel Vargas should become the superstar and everything else. So we'll have Elijah on.
Shout out to our boy Elijah. He's actually, I think he's in Charlotte, and I think he was in Charlotte. He was with Jeff. They actually met and did a in-person podcast together. And then Elijah's been pumping out quite a few interviews. I think he did Colson Montgomery. He had Jonathan Cannon do a little Zoom or whatever with him. So everybody go check out Elijah's stuff. Just pumps out some of the best content on White Sox Twitter. So.
Yes, sir. The ad is at Future Sox, and then you can find Elijah if you follow us on social medias. He is always tagged and on the post that we post for the episodes. So shout out to Elijah. We'll have to have him on. And that's right. I did see the Cannon interview, so good thing you brought that up because I did forget to mention that. So that's all we got here for you today, guys. Today's MVPs. It's a double MVP since you two were the only two that were here today, and I appreciate that. It's Chris. And it's Bo. Bo, you're a 2-time back-to-back MVP now. And Chris, you already know. So keep your title and defend it tomorrow for SmackDown. But, guys, go follow all the social medias. Go hit that like button. Go buy your merch. Go become a member. Leave a super chat or two, all that good stuff. We do got some more emotes coming tomorrow. I did add a new one right now. So give me some yeets in the chat if any of you members are in here. You're just not chatting. So we'll have more added tomorrow as the days go on. So, guys, go do all that good stuff. But lastly, go hit that like button, subscribe on the road to 3K. And lastly, guys, turn that notification button on so you know when we go live next, which will be tomorrow night for Friday Night SmackDown. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, and I'll see you tomorrow as we find who is the real Tribal Chief.